Total alignment means that only. Ki how this whole is moving, swaying, you also move in that line. In the real sense, because you are divine spark, you are part of that. Part means as whole, not part as some fraction. What all is there in the ultimate, that all is in you, but small. Suppose it is a big flame and you are a small flame, but same flame, all ingredients same. While we got initiated, we said openly, I am handing over myself to you as a soul, as a word given from your side. Now it is Guru's duty, it is his responsibility. That he takes care of that. Disciple can go wrong only when Guru goes wrong. Possibility nahi hai. But if they become disciple.
Is observation and listening two different things? I think it is two. Observing is multidimensional. Listening, complete focus is on one's conversation. Isn't it while observing we are in action world? And listening we are in response. Intention is when we are in important conversation, do we need to be in observation or listening more or both? Where to use what?
So when we say state of being, see, we have said that this seeing and observing, are they different? More and more you go, seeing, suppose we are looking at each other. Now this is very common seeing. Now you close your eyes and then you do a seeing. That is also seeing. But then you are little more, less obstructed by outside things. Abhi anything makes sign, so you start looking at that. So seeing also varies. So does observation. So these are conveying the same thing. Observation, seeing, and if you go deeper, like you are in some meditation state, then there is no difference between seeing and observing and listening. That is how in Indic tradition they gave three things, which is called prasthantrayi. So that is Gita, Upanishad and Brahmasutra. So what is the rationale behind this? So many, out of the Upanishad they took 12 Upanishads. Gita they took and Brahmasutra took. So why these only have been chosen? There is some relation with this question. Because this Gita is Smriti. That means somebody told somebody and then we are listening there, reading there. So this is somebody else's experience. Two people said there. In Upanishad, you are prompted to listen. Here you are seeing Smriti, through Smriti you are listening somebody else's experience. There also conversations are in Upanishad. But they say don't focus on my conversation. It leads you somewhere. So that is more of Shruti. That is why they are called part of Shruti. So Gita is Smriti, Upanishads are Shruti. Though format is same, conversation is there, but the content is different. The intention is different. And then is Brahmasutra. So what is Brahmasutra? It is for looking for justice. That is there justice in your existence or not? So it totally moves on logic. It teaches you logic, how to do reasoning, how to fix certain thing, that is this is truth or not truth. So it is pure reasoning. So these three things are happening everywhere, whatever you are doing, whether you are trying to sit for meditation or you are in outside world doing something. Only difference is that more and more you practice meditation, more and more you do sadhana. So then you reach to a certain state of being. That becomes your subconscious state. That is who you really keep becoming. Outside is just a fraction of that which you are utilizing. Suppose where this movement, your movement to passing away comes. what will all you will remember? I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to do that, you go confused. But if you are settled behind, then you say, I have nothing to do with it at all. So you are so calm and composed and clear because you are settled. Now that which I am saying, which is called fourth state. There, if you are all the time settled, that is the goal of your reaching there, that you are always there, samadhist, in meditation, in samadhi. Outside you are doing things. So if you are observing from that state, then these questions will not arise, because there is no difference there between listening, between observing, between seeing. No difference, it is same. But when you come down into the world, then the differentiation starts. So observation is seeing from that state which is you are at peace. If you are not at peace, then you will be disturbed. So you can't call that observation. It reduces to be seeing, and all those things will be influenced by your impressions. How will you, suppose you are, depends, that's why I say which is the real setting. Same thing, you are in office. Now you have been given, you are sitting with your boss or your team and you are discussing something. Now there are two things that you have been assigned, that this is the area of your work. This is what you are supposed to provide solution. And this is what I am anticipating from you. So when he is saying something, boss is saying, so you are total, yes, that whole my knowledge I have to produce in such a way that problem is solved, what has been assigned to me. So you are totally attentive to listening, that what is the real problem. Do I understand the problem correctly? So if you miss attention there, that time you are not supposed to think. But you can't stop thinking, because he speaks one word, so antenna start working, that where from to bring the, what is he trying to say, how to connect. So you keep connecting your dot back of the mind. But if you learn to listen totally, then you will be in a position to draw all your knowledge, and then you will be in a position to solve the problem at your best capacity. So that time when you are listening, if you totally listen, then it goes inside you, and again it is coming from the impressionate world only, because the setting is like that. He is not asking you any existential question. He is not asking you when to solve the world's problem. He is asking in a fix that only that memory has to work. But if you listen totally, then you will be in a position to connect. It depends on the conveying person also, whether he is conveying correctly or not. So communication is a key. This language, to certain extent, here also we say in spirituality, till the time you have reached to deepest trust, language is important. The role of language is important, because this is what giving you certain strings that come here, indicating time and age, so that you reach to a quotient. Now I don't need this language. You become so firm and clear. Now you listen differently. So that listening at that time is like that. So once you, the same instrument through which you are listening, what are our instruments? We either seeing through eyes, or we are listening through ears, or we are touching something, smelling something, or tasting something. It's the same basics. But when you are in a meeting, so what is only word is coming to you. Through that only your mind is making decisions about anything, and all again drawing from the memories. So in this case, only how clear your senses are, that they connect properly where it really needs to be connected. So that time also memory is working. So one has to go, if the real listening has to be there, then it has to, you have to be beyond your memory. Otherwise you are just playing in a very shallow field. So that's why I say setting depends. In meditation, it's different. There is no difference between, because it is not in your control. You have left yourself open. Now what you start thinking, how do you know that this I am listening and this I am observing? You are in meditation, eyes are closed, nobody is speaking to you. Now certain thought is coming. Is that thought an observation, or that thought is listening, or that thought is coming from your memory? How will you decide? Until and unless you are clear about your position, that this is where I am. Now at this stage, now you become like a slate. See, when you become more and more clear, then any thought is coming to you, then you will be in a position to decipher that no, this is coming from my memory. I have this previous thing I have done. This is how this connection is happening, and that's how I will. Certain places you go, certain smell comes, and you suddenly somewhere back your mind goes to somewhere, where else I had smelled like this, and that place also comes to your memory. So your subconscious is more powerful than your conscious memory. That's why sometimes you cannot relate. Somehow I feel, but I cannot relate why this is happening. No, because there is a storehouse behind that. But that is not your place. You have to go even beyond that. So when you are in total observation, then this difference between listening, remembering, and then observing will cease to be. That is why it varies, that in certain setting, whether I am in that position where I am doing total listening, or I am drawing only from my memory, whatever I am considering that this is my listening, but it is my memory which is making sense to me, connecting. So in worldly matters, it will stay like that. So that is why we come back to the behavioral norms, that what are the rules of that conversation. Here only boss is supposed to speak, then I am supposed to respond. That is how the conversation goes. If you are sitting with your team, rules are different. Now if they are your colleagues, everybody is giving their input when their turn comes. So there is no, though in corporate these days that kind of rigid hierarchy is not there. They call themselves that we are all going together, we all are leaders, all that is okay. But somewhere behind that is said that this is boss and I am not boss. And with your team you have different. So that subconscious boss also knows. You also know. But nobody is speaking that. All goody things we are saying. But that works. So even if you have something, you say, no, this is not proper to give this answer. So then you can't speak the truth also. So many things are there. So we have to be very cautious and clear to ourselves. That when I am asking, because these things are not universal. Your memory is limited to your identity. Because that is where from you are trying. But if you become, see, that's why the whole journey is how expansive you are. Expansive in the sense of expansion. That how much expansion has happened. If your expansion has happened to the whole, then you are no more. Your memories will cease to be. Then there will be so much peace. So that identity decides whether you have to listen or you have to observe. It is to the occasion. I give you one more example. Suppose two countries are fighting, husband and wife are fighting. And now, suppose one of them says, no, I don't want to fight. Not in verbally, he stops fighting or she stops fighting, one person. Now, if anger is there, then that will, the self, such case I have observed. Somebody came, a couple. And he said that the wife was weak, so husband said, I will not do anything. So what happened is, because anger was there, wife started beating herself. then he had to participate in the violence. Yeah, that is a better to I get some share, otherwise this is more harmful. So even in countries and everywhere, how compassionate you are, where is your observation? What is your parameter to decide anything? So like countries, as I say, they are fighting. Without cooperation, they can't fight. The other has to cooperate to fight. Then only you have a fight. Otherwise, there is no fight. So if you become that peaceful, then your behavior is different. So there you are, then you draw from the real thing, because your stimuli is not deciding then everything. Originality is deciding that what is needed. You don't get angry because somebody has thrown something over you. You see what is needed at this time. Is it compassion which is needed, or it is anger which is needed? So what is a need based, that only you do. So then these things become irrelevant. But they are relevant before reaching to that stage. That is why we said, why constant remember? You remember ceaselessly that who you are. So you are never fooled by the world. Like we said, give example that when you are in a cinema, back of the mind, actor is always knowing, I am playing this character, I am not this. Always he knows. So he is not carried away. The moment camera is over, he or she is himself. It was same way when we are going. This is we say how you see it. This is your choice. Whether you see it as a drama, play, dream, whatever, stick with your imagery, and everything will be clear to you. So that capacity to observe, to what extent it is matured. So we call a stage in yoga which is pratyahar. Pratyahar means that food which you are taking, have you started taking it only pure? That means now your senses do not, you have a craving for something. That is not the thing which will decide you having it. What will decide whether it is needed or not? What for food is taken? It is for the cause the energy is created in body stays clean. That is the, it is a fuel. So you are seeing it how fuel, which is the efficient fuel and how much is needed. You can't do overflow the tank. How much is needed? This is the optimization. So that way, when you become like that and everywhere need based, then what happens is you move towards pratyahar. That's prati means just opposite to somebody. From the same root comes word pratyaksh also, that in front of the other. Prati means something is in front and you are in front of that. So pratyah means you are now closer to the ultimate. So that becomes your food. All Sahaj Smriti Yoga what we are is based on food, because that is the most common denominator among all. All means not only human beings, it reaches to all realms, but prominently human beings. So you start taking food. That's why I say when you take food or take it as prasad. So when you remember, this remembrance, this is I am taking for as a prasad. That first you offer. So remembrance works. So that way you start shaping into that. Subconsciously you keep becoming that. So if you have to reach to that stage, then you have to be very clear about it, that where it is absolute, there don't apply comparative things. Where it is comparative, don't apply the principle of absolute. That much clarity you needed. That it is the subjective stimuli about which we are talking. This is not about my meditation or my ultimate realization. Then gradually we move towards that pratyahara. So when you gradually you start doing pratyahara, So then you will see more that it applies everywhere. Ultimately you become need based in every sense, and that is how you are. A total alignment means that only, no? Ki how this whole is moving, swaying, you also move in that line. This which you, in Vedic period it was called Rit. Now we can say it is alignment. So that is where yoga comes and everything comes. So we have to keep observing that how are we moving in that direction, and that is where the utility of guru comes. What is the difference between us and guru? Only difference is that he looks at us as divine, not by any purpose. His eye has become like that. So if we say why all the saints they have given value to the guru and not to the god, because they say ki if you forget me, you have a direct relationship with no problem, who will remind you? So then he said, no, there is someone who never forgets. So if you are with them, then he will immediately put you back on that trail. So utility is there. So everything is connected in certain way. So wherever we are saying what to apply, it depends on that moment, in that stimuli, because in real sense, as we are saying, there is no difference between anything. If you are sitting in samadhi state, fourth state, then all is a drama. So whatever is your role, you do. Somewhere observing is needed, you observe. Somewhere listening is needed, you listen. Somewhere speaking is needed, you speak. There is no ground rule. It is stimuli need based. A same thing is observation also. Whether I am listening or I am speaking. Because essentially there is no difference. All is, as we said, then who saw, they said that's all is Shruti. That means all the time you are listening. Why it is named Shruti? Veda, or Veda means knowledge. In today's language, if you speak, Veda means what is? Knowledge. That is only one. For the sake of convenience, they divide it into 4. So that you understand. Now they say, no, its name is Shruti. Shruti means you have become like this. That there is none like you. You know that there is, what is there in me, whom I can. If you ponder clearly, sit somewhere and you see there is nothing like me. How people say, sometimes I wonder why people say I am there. See, what is there in you, like you call I am this. For everything you are dependent on outside. If you do not put food into it, it is not going to function properly. If outside breathing is not coming to you, you are anyway not there. So what is that which makes you know this is me? But this is also intelligence, this is also memory, isn't it? Taking outside food, don't you remember? And then apply intelligence to it, this memory that you are taking food from outside. So what is there in you? So intelligence also will give you the same decision. So in the real sense, because you are divine spark, you are part of that. Part means as whole, not part as some fraction. What all is there in the ultimate, that all is in you, but small. Suppose it is a big flame and you are a small flame, but same flame, all ingredients same. That doesn't let you forget. But you never apply to that. Because the moment you apply to that, then you will make decision, then I am eternal, then I am infinite, then I am immortal, then what drama I am doing here? Why am I relating with things? And that is where what you said, that memory or intelligence get confused. Because it start relating with things which it should not relate. Where from it say, that's why we say intellect to intelligence to wisdom. From wisdom if you see, then you see things only stimuli and response. But we try to be smart. We matlab whatever identity we have taken, that we can shape the world in our way. So then there is struggle, because if you are smart, other is also smart. So there is struggle. So all the time, this we have to be mindful, or heartful, or aware, or conscious, or awake ultimately. This is the hierarchy, if we say. Awake, aware, conscious, heartful, and mindful, the last. So from this way we begin, then with whichever way. Ultimately is that we reach that stage where things are clear to us. And these are not these things, these are just stimuli. So if we always stay into that state, that this is how I am. Because the moment we use the word I am, I say, why you put a time tag onto it? What makes you to say no I am? Where it is written? Neither anybody have told you. Neither language can make it clear. When it says present indefinite, there is no definite definition. There is no definite. It is indefinite present. Your grammar is telling you, your language is telling, only you are not listening. Why? Because as he is saying that this memory and intelligence which is contaminated, making me feel I am. So when you have taken this knowingly, then you have to, if you have taken a role of an identity, then you have to act according to that. So this is the whole thing.
Present situation, however it is, we have to act.
So idea is how peaceful you can stay in back of your mind. So you totally listen and you totally respond. And that is what you have in your hands. In whatever state of consciousness we are, this is all time applicable. How are you stationed within yourself? Means where is your consciousness? What is your identity at that moment? Is that at peace? Peace, what level of peace? Because somebody is saying we get agitated. Maybe we are a little more mature, we are not showing. But all the things have already moved, which have to make decisions. When it is coming out, and you said, I was peaceful, why this is happening? You have done already. They are more conscious. See, you are so sensitive. The moment some idea crosses in your head, your Parmanu, they move, they make their move. Just an idea. They all become active.
How do we control in meditation? We can slowly.
Yes, by becoming, this we say the same process. What is in cleaning? See, same process we have to do regularly. We are why we say it is guided meditation, because that somebody else is controlling. Once you reach to the, so long as you are fighting with senses and all that, this is your matter. Once you reach to the refined field, then you are controlled by Guru. Now this person needs some care. Otherwise, so you are going with the world. Role is already written. You are doing, when you come, then we will see. So that is where the remembrance comes. Once you reach to that, once you really realize what for you are here, then we only will remember Guru. This automatically happens. There is no outside needed. Automatically happen. It is not that you have to do some effort. Automatically it will happen. Once you discover, this is my purpose. This is what I am here for. So what is behind that? Behind that works your relationship. What we have done while we got initiated, we said openly, I am handing over myself to you as a soul. That is what we give a name, just to identify that this is the ultimate thing which you are. Everything else is secondary. So you say give, it's a promise, or it's a word given from your side that I am giving it to you. To the extent I know, truthfully I am offering it to you. Do whatever you want. I am giving in trust. I am giving. Now it is Guru's duty. It is his responsibility. That he takes care of that. So everything else, as we were saying, it is the soul's light which falls on self. It is self's light which falls on mind, and then mind's on the body. So you are driven by soul. So more and more you do sadhana, you will become soul oriented. And that you have given to somebody else. So if you reach closer to that, you will remember that only. So there is already control, because you are already given it to somebody. It's no more with you. So long as you think it is with you, then you have not reached there. Because the moment you reach, it's not there, it is somewhere else. So then that things, otherwise mind moorings keep happening. Then there will be nothing required. You will know everything as and what you should do where very clearly. Because disciples can, I'm saying very openly, disciple can go wrong only when Guru goes wrong. It's no possibility for disciple ever going wrong. Possibility nahi hai, because you have already given it to somebody. How? But if they become disciple, that's why the word disciple. We say this is a disciplined consciousness. In the last article I have written is a properly mentioned, read it, the disciplined consciousness, not consciousness alone, disciplined, because you are disciple. So then consciousness driven you are ultimately, and that you have given somebody else. So how his consciousness is, accordingly you all will be there, and his consciousness is all pervasive. So you will move according. How can you go wrong when you are moving with the whole? No possibility. You can go wrong with what Raghavan is saying. When you have assumed identity differently and your intelligence and memory is contaminated by different identities. So you are going here and then in trying to fix yourself that how to overcome this. But in between, because that is there, so sometimes it plays its role, it will pull here and there, and then again you say, no, this is not it. So control happens through Guru. Your role is only to clean, do your prayer and sit for meditation. And that you regularly, as it is, write it. All those 4-5 things are written there. Whatever measure we can do, we should do it continuously. It is like every day, morning you get up, you fix yourself for the day. So if meditation happens properly, then your day is in line. You are ready to face whatever is coming there. Because nothing can come to us other than what we have earned through karma. There are two things. Two things are moving together. One, we are earning something, and one which we have already earned is coming there. Like some deposit we have kept, some salary we are getting, both things there. So if we do that properly, then slowly that karma is gone, and then things become right. So only remembrance, only doing what is just written in that one paper, that all control will automatically come. And that is the beauty. When you practice, these things will come. So that is why we say keep writing, because you will forget. Best moments, I am saying, today I said that while I was in ashram, these days went just like one day. Now how would I tell all those things, what happened there? Because it compressed so much in a small time. I have no memory of that these many days I have been there. So let's say yesterday I went, today I came over. Oh, so fast it's gone. At times it is same for all, they say, no, but where is it same for all? It is not. That all of us know. If you are happy, you don't remember anything. If you are unhappy, it goes like so weighty. 1 hour you feel like it is a whole yuga. So where is the same for everyone time? It depends, because time is ultimately consciousness. If it is so light, then there is no time for you. And when there is no time for you, you are that consciousness, then no rule is applying to you of this world. Rule will apply, see, when you are going on a traffic somewhere, you are braking, then later. You are driving a motor, But if you are beyond all this, how will it apply to you if you are flying? That if we diligently we are doing it, everything will become clear to ourselves. We will become evidence of everything what is happening with us. This is so simple and clear.
When you are talking about the time which varies from people to people, though I'm not talking about the wall clock time, the pace at which the time proceeds. I have also experienced it where playing is like just like minutes, it goes away. Whereas traveling to Chennai in train with, I mean, that takes like, oh my God, when will I reach there? So the time looks long and long for me. So is this what Einstein says as time is contractible and expandable?
No, it is in that line, but because the statement is same, but the plane is different. When he says he is talking more of an appearance realm, which is everything is appearing. But here when we are talking, it is beyond appearance. It is just in your consciousness or feeling, you can say the relative world is, or wisdom. Physics means some, at least though they have done further studies and more research happens, so there are divisions. Now there is astrophysics also, quantum physics, what all is not there. See, means more and more you are going in research, then you are finding subtler particles. That is what physics is. To the extent you can go, but it's still physics. Name is physics only, that something is there. But consciousness mein, can you say that something is there? What is that thing? Scientists try to figure out, is there something in the brain which we can call conscious? Is there something in the heart that we call consciousness? Is there something mind? What is mind? So they could not figure out. They said no. Brain starts only with electrical activity. So it is not, in brain comes consciousness, but nobody can say this is the, I have figured out in brain or heart this is the consciousness. So they have brought it to the very basic level. If you ask a doctor what is consciousness, he say if you can orient yourself, that is the consciousness. Orient means you know where am I in the hospital bed. That's what where they tell all this. Okay, how many these fingers? 4. Yes, you are conscious. Okay, consciousness. So if everybody you think is that level, then it is a not correct explanation for consciousness. Consciousness is the subtlest thing of which you are made. On that bedrock only everything else is working. Beneath that is same, but that's what we are calling fourth state, where you are free from all material thing. There you are all pervasive. There is no difference between anyone. Only this is a big small expansion. That's all. So that you gave the word guru and lagu, that you only know that there is someone, nobody else knows. Because that is how it is working. Otherwise, it ceases to work.
Recently, I read like, the quantum physics introducing the new things. I mean, they are bringing the consciousness also into picture. They also say observer. When the observer is there, the particle behaves this way. When the observer is not here, it behaves in a different way. So human consciousness plays a role there. So they, I mean, quantum physics is accepting it, but if they fully accept that nothing exists, then everything will go for a toss. So
that also now they have accepted. But structure they are telling. That also recently they have accepted that this universe has come. Earlier it was there that something is left. Again sometimes, see, it has happened in Chadwick, father and son. Chadwick or Thompson's Somebody, the father got the Nobel Prize for something and son got just for the opposite, saying the opposite thing. Some father and son, I am forgetting the name, they are there in chemistry, physics. So this is the way. So in universe's case, they keep saying, first they said no, something is left, out of that it is created. Then they say it comes from nothing. Both got the Nobel Prize. You can do Google and figure out. So because something where you have not reached, you have not seen, so you go by imagination, conjecture, and then sometimes that works. It is not, that is how all inventions have come. If you got the relationship right, ultimately relationship, if you got it right, then you tell the world that this is how it works. But that field is that of the matter. How mind and matter works, how mind gets transformed into matter, how matter gets transformed into mind, that now people are figuring out. But ultimately it has to reach where from it all begins. That we all are knowing that. See, we are sitting in here doing meditation. Something is there, no? That's why we are here. Something within us compelling us, something within us inspiring us. No, we want to figure out who I really am. So, but how strong that conviction keeps becoming, that is what for meditative practices. That you on your own, like you come initiation, we say, you have to come on your volition. No pressure should be there on you. It should be your free choice. Then only there is a possibility. Otherwise, someday you say, no, वो तो उन्होंने बोला था. He had said, so I have come. And then you will go with, because someday your mind will say, then now that doesn't apply, so I am going. But when you decide, no, I want to figure out who I really am, then it is different. So freely you come, because these are the degrees. One we call freedom. Another word uses mukti, moksha. What is that? Freedom in degrees. What else is? If you are asking about some political freedom, we got independence. What freedom? Somebody else was governing your rules, regulations, how much tax you will pay. Now you say, no, my own people will decide. Whom we consider our own people. They appear more like us. So they will decide, you go. So we sent them, packed them back to Britain. Now we are deciding. Now again we are saying, no. Some among us are behaving like them. So we have to do further work. So then you have to get educated and again do this. So you get some more freedom. Now this time it sounds more democratic because everybody is having a say. So reforms keep happening. Someday you figure out anyway, all this freedom is there only so long as my body is there. But am I existing after that? Then you move towards, no, now I want more freedom, that is mukti. That while I have this body, then only this chances I get the mukti, jivan mukt. That's the word used. That you get liberation when you are here and now in body, that I am free from this body. I know it, figured this out, that I have nothing to do with this. So this is its limitation, that is how it works. Now you are free from it. Now it follows you. Earlier you were working for it, now it started working for you. It was always working for you, but only you didn't know. So this way, when we are free from any tinge of materialism, that is why you say pure. So what is the decision maker same which can be discovered among all of us? Wisdom. Everything is decided ultimately. We agree on wisdom. You will do your reasoning, whatever I say, because that's the nature of being. So what the spiritual people are saying, why it is called Satsang? Because that you be with the truth. Because you will progress on your own pace. But keep progressing, don't stop. Again, don't get caught by the body and other identities. Always remember that this is for some time only and this is opportunity. So if you become time, means consciousness, then Guru is an opportunity, life is an opportunity, that your whole life is an opportunity. But if you refine yourself to that extent, because then alignment is total. You are moving with as you should move every moment. You become eternal. There is nothing like that ki I have to do this for them, because you are already there and you are in perfect alignment. So this body comes, how many thousand times it has come. It's going, it will go. How does it matter to you? It is happening to you. You are not happening to it. Something happens and it get accumulated. Okay, this time this much, this kind of frame is needed. It will get automatically come there, because you are still whatever is happening. So the Swarup, like a poet says, Sankar Sahaj Swarup Samhara Lagi Samadhi Akhand Apara. When you do your Swarup sadhana, that is what you are trying in meditation. Lagi Samadhi, Akhand Apar Samadhi you get. That means you are totally in fourth state, knowing everything is moving, you are not moving. You are always as you are. Whatever is happening, how many times your body keeps coming, going, so many. What is big deal? But to remember all that the time, and don't get caught into limited identities. Otherwise, it takes time, that's all. Because anyway you are moving towards the path. Once you are initiated, you are moving on that direction. And these all questions have already been asked so many times. What you are asking, all these questions Arjuna has asked Krishna. In Upanishad, every disciple has asked the same question. He said, I am coming with you, but if I could not follow yoga, what will happen to me? Will I get lost like, you see, what you call leaf in the wind, full speed wind goes here and there. He said, no. Even a little investment you have done, next birth I'll give you. Same. There again you progress. So this also we keep telling, but this should not make you complacent. This is enjoyment of total alignment. That's what we call other world. It is not somewhere else. It is here and now. Other world, this world, every world is here and now where you are. It's not something outside. It's here and now. It's your choice which way we are moving. So this is why people, even artists, they are getting all this. No? Movies, parallel universe and all. Where from it is coming? Somewhere it is ingrained. वहाँ से थोड़ा सा little spark you get and it creates so much art. How much you are reservoir of all that.